All right, I would like to welcome you all again in this class. So we are going to start our class for today. About the topic is about future tense, and I already gave you 5 topics to discuss about. And first, we are going to listen for your explanation for each of the topic, and then we are going to conduct discussion session for each of the topic. Okay, so I will let the first group to start to present. It can be any topic. It doesn't have to be in order, like what I wrote on the file. Whoever ready can start it. Okay, I would like to have volunteer first before I pointing out at any group. Come on, volunteer first. No, no. Okay, then. 27. Kayaknya lebih satu deh. Siapa yang join dengan 2 device mungkin? Can you guys hear my voice clearly?
Yeah, Laksmi.
Okay. Can you guys hear my voice clearly?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, okay, good. All right. No volunteer? All right, then I will start to choose. I want to listen an explanation from the group who is responsible for the topic present progressive and simple present to express future time. Okay. I want to listen to this group first. Who is responsible for that topic?
My group, Miss.
Okay. I believe all of the member of your group are here, roughly.
Yes. All of my
Alright.
group member are here.
Okay. Do you have any media to help you present?
Yes, we have PowerPoint, Miss. Wait
Hey.
a little minute.
Okay. Hernandini, kamu di kampus ya? Oh.
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Who are the member of Rafli's group?
Hernandini, Devin Pratama, and Wiantara, Miss.
Only 4?
And Agina. sorry,
Okay.
Agina.
Forgot one. Devin, where is Devin? Can you get information from... Hi. Can you get information from the Telegram right now, Devin?
Sure, Miss. Wait. It's a little bit like my device is doing too much task.
All right. I'm totally fine actually if the problem is the device and any kind of other problem as long as you tell me. And you may be asking for assistance from your Corpi or one of your friends to forward the information, any kind of information that I posted or your Corpi posted to send it to you through WhatsApp or other things. Actually, yeah, it's totally okay, Devin, for you not to be able to join the Telegram group. But please do tell me so I know the condition of my class. Yeah, your problems and anything. Don't hesitate to tell me about it. And I actually use Telegram to differentiate like personal chat. So I put Telegram in the position which is really formal because I assume in Telegram I can meet you all like when I enter the class and you guys are in the classroom. So that's how I perceive or putting Telegram in this kind of situation, this online learning. So yeah, I really need to know what is going on if you're not there. Yeah, that is all. Okay, Rafli, are you ready?
Wait, Miss. I'm still downloading the PPT.
Can the member of the group help him maybe or do something about it? This is very interesting topic, yeah, because it's actually using another tenses to express about future. Who has the PowerPoint file? That person can share it actually. All right. Okay, you may start, guys.
All right. Good afternoon, Miss Astiti and all of my friends. Today we are from the second group want to present about present progressive and simple present to express future time. Well, the first speaker is Agina Purwanita.
Okay, I will present about simple present to express future time. The simple present is used to make statement about event at a time later than now, when the statements are based on present fact and when these facts are something fixed like a timetable, schedule, or calendar. The structure or formula of a simple present is subject, main verb, and object.
All right. Next is present progressive. Express future time. Will explain when. Next slide again. The present continuous or progressive is the way to convey an action or condition that is happening right now, frequently, and maybe ongoing. It adds energy and action to writing and its
Sorry,
effect.
Dini, I cannot hear your voice clearly.
Ah, sorry, miss. All right. The present continuous or present progressive tense is a way to convey any action or condition that is happening right now, frequently, and maybe ongoing. It adds energy and action to a writing, and it helps a reader understand when the action is happening. Just imagine that Dinda has surprised her brother Tama for his birthday and going to take him out to his favorite restaurant, Manalagi restaurant. If I wanted to tell the story after it happened, I'd use the past tense. But what I really want to convey is how the event unfolds, showing the action as it happening. From this narrative point of view, the action is immediate and continuous. There's momentum. Sometimes writers use this tense to add suspense or humor on fictional pieces. What kind of meals will Tama and his sister order? Or the suspense is killing me. Anyway, to form the present continuous, just follow this formula is to be M is R plus verb present participle or verb.
Okay, this material will be explained by me. I will explain when to use simple present for future event and present continuous or present progressive for future arrangements. The simple present is used to make statement about event at the time later than now, when the statement are based on present fact and when these facts are something fixed like timetable, schedule, and calendar. Next is present continuous for future arrangement. Using present continuous to talk about the future. The present continuous is used to talk about arrangement for event at the time later than now. There is a suggestion that more than one person is aware of the event and some preparation are already happened or already done. For example, I'm meeting Jim at the airport. Jim and I have discussed this, so we are meeting at the airport. And next example is, I'm leaving tomorrow. The explanation is, I already bought the train ticket, so I will leave tomorrow. That's all for my material. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Kadek Dwi Antara, and now I will tell the examples of simple present. So the first example is, the plane arrives at 6 p.m. tomorrow. And then the second is, she has a yoga class tomorrow morning. The next, the restaurant opens at 7:30 tonight. And then next Thursday at 2 p.m., there is an English exam. And the last example is, the plane leaves in 10 minutes.
Would you like to tell us the meaning of each example that you just read?
I'm sorry, miss.
Would you like to tell us the meaning of each example? In which part can you know that the form or the tenses of all these sentences are in simple present? But we are talking about simple present to express future time. Would you like to give explanation to each of the sentence that you just read? In what way or how you can say that it is about future time? Dwiantara, are you still there? Dwiantara, are you still there?
Yes, Miss. So I will explain the first example. So the meaning is that the event of in the example is set in the future. For example, we know that the plane arrived at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Is that right, Miss?
How do we know about it?
Because it's been scheduled, Miss.
What has been scheduled?
The time of the planes will arrive.
Would you like to read the sentence one more time?
The plane arrives at 6 p.m. tomorrow.
It's not 6 p.m., it's 18. There are lots of systems and mentioning the time, right? And everything is actually correct. You write there, you're the one who write this, right? You write 18 there, 18 o'clock, so you better read that way. And then how can you say that this simple present tense is talking about future time? How would you know?
Because in this example, there is a word tomorrow.
Yes, the adverb of time tomorrow. Okay, go ahead, number 2.
Okay, Miss.
Come on, Viantara, you can go ahead. Please don't waste the time.
Oh, okay, Miss. And for the second example, she has a yoga class tomorrow morning. It means that the yoga class will it means that the yoga class will be held in tomorrow morning.
Yes, it's basically on the sentence. It means, yeah, bukan it's mean. It means.
Okay.
Next.
Then for the next one. The restaurant opens at 7:30 tonight. It means that the restaurant will open tonight at 7:30.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, and the next Thursday at 14 there is an English exam. It means that the English exam will be held next Thursday at 14 or at 2 p.m. And then the last is the plane leaves in 10 minutes. It means that
It means
that okay, Miss.
All right, Viantara, I'll just wrap it up. Okay, for this example of simple present. So, everyone, you are all realizing that all the sentences on the left are in form of simple present tense, but they are actually talking about the future, things that is not happening right now or at the time the sentence was uttered. Okay, so how this kind of thing happen? How can we talking using simple present or writing or anything using simple present, but not talking about something happened right now? You should relate back to what is simple present for. Okay, simple present also talking about habit. It's also talking about something done repeatedly. So it's actually was predicted. Okay, just like the plane. You know that when we are going to go by plane, we have to go to the airport and we have to book or buy ticket, right? So it already has schedule on it, so we can predict what will happen when the plane arrives, when the plane will depart. So we know all of the things about the schedule of the plane. Okay, but maybe we cannot, and it is really precise. Okay, more or less, it is precise. Duyantara, would you like to mute yourself, please?
Okay, Miss.
Mute the microphone. All right. Okay, so everybody needs to be clear about it. Why we talk about simple present when our topic is actually future tense? Okay, so that's what I'm going to highlight to you and to make you understand about this. Okay, simple present, and then also we have present progressive. Who is responsible for this? So all are scheduled. Okay, Devin, thank you. So all are under the schedule. So it's predicted. Is that happening right now? Not yet. But everyone who has this are sure that those things are going to happen at the time as the schedule. Okay, that's what you have to understand. The relationship between the future tense that we are going to talk, and also why there is simple present there. Okay, Devin, you can go ahead with present progressive, please.
So example of present progressive, number one, is she seeing him tomorrow? Number two, he isn't working next week. Number three, they aren't leaving until the end of next year. Number four, we are staying with friends when we get to Boston.
All right. Would you like to elaborate? So it present progressive, but it means the future. How can you explain it to us, please?
Why we use present progressive, but the situations or the thing is not already or still going right now, because it's not because we know that the situations will be going in the present, like tomorrow, next week, end of the year, end of next year, and when we get to Boston. So it's not progressing right now, but it's in the present. So we use present progressive because of that. Yes.
Yes, you're right. It's not happening right now. Usually present progressive is used to say things that is happening right now. Okay, just like if I say we are studying via Zoom meeting right now, right? So the word we are studying and then the we are there to tell people who read the sentence that this is happening right now. Say, for example, if you are saying, I am studying English in Undiksha. So you are actually studying right now. You are becoming the student, even though you are not literally taking books or read something, but you are being a student in Undiksha. So that is present progressive. But this is actually talking about what is going to happen in the future time, but there is a process there. Say, for example, number two and number three are negative sentences, right? So it's not happening. Actually, it's not happening. And then the first one is interrogative. So it's hard for you to relating the real situation. So we're gonna go for the fourth one, which is we are staying with friends when we get to Boston. So there will be a period of time in the future. Why we say in the future? Because when we get to Boston, okay, when we get to Boston, maybe previously they already saying they are going to Boston in a certain time in the future, and when they get there, so when they are arriving at Boston, they are going to staying with friends in a period of time. So there will be a period of time in the future, and it is going on, but it's not happening right now. But it is going on in the future. There will be process, or there will be, like, say for example, the first week when we get to Boston, we are going to staying with friends. Say for example like that. So that is actually the adverb of time giving a really big impact on how can you say that it is happening right now or in the future. Okay, so actually future tense is not only talking about will, not only talking about be going to, or only the future tense. There are other tenses that you can use to express about the future. Okay, so that's the message that I want to deliver right now. So don't put your mind in a box. If it is future, so I only allowed to express the future only with will be going to or future tense. No. Okay, so I want you to open for those options. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for the first group for giving this explanation, the concept, and then when to use, and then example. But just now, when you were explaining about concept and also when to use, you're actually explaining the origin of present progressive and simple present. But actually, I need you to explain about the concept and also the context of both tenses related to the future only. Yeah, so not all of the present progressive and also simple present concept or context. You don't have to, but it's okay. You're actually doing more than expected. I assume at the end you're going to come with examples that still only talking about simple present or present progressive, but actually you don't, or you are not. You're actually giving the example that I need to see, and your friends need to see. Good job, first group. Thank you very much for preparing this presentation. Well done. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Miss.
Now,
Thank you,
you're
Miss.
welcome.
Thank you, Miss.
All right. So now I'm going to ask the other group, the future perfect group, please. Who is responsible for this topic? Future perfect.
Yes, Miss. It's
Okay.
my group.
Okay, Dia. How many students in your group?
5 students.
Okay, who are they?
There are Diva, Restu, me, Steven, and Wida.
All right. I believe all of them are here already, yeah?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. You may start whenever you're ready.
Sure, Miss. Wida, can you share screen the presentation, please? Okay, good evening, Miss Astiti and friends. We are from the 4th group and we will be presenting about future perfect. Next slide. So in this group consists of 5 members, which is Wida, Steven, Restu, Diva, and me, Dia. For the name can be seen on the screen. Next slide, please. So in this presentation, we are going to be explaining the concept or brief explanation about the future perfect. And the second is when to use or the context of future perfect. And the last will be examples of future perfect.
Okay, so for the first material, which is the concept and brief explanation, will be explained by Vida.
Okay, the concept of future perfect. The future perfect tense is for talking about an action that will be completed between now and some point in the future. The formula for the future perfect tense is will have plus past participle. In the future perfect, the adverb of time is very important. For example, by next day in the form of hours and by next Sunday. This is the pattern of future perfect. For positive form, subject plus will have plus past participle. Negative form, subject plus will plus not plus have and plus past participle. Interrogative form, will plus subject plus have plus past participle. The next material will be presented by Stephen.
Okay, now I will tell you about when to use future perfect. We use the future perfect to talk about something that will be completed before a specific time in the future, or to describe the same sense of completion but at a moment in the future. This is to provide clarity that the event will finish before another event occurs. Next will be presented by Festo.
Okay, I'm gonna continue our materials. The future perfect is only action that will be completed before a specific point in the future. In other words, the action you're talking about must have a deadline. The deadline can be very specific, like 8 o'clock, or it can be vague, like next week. It can even depend on when something else happens after the period ends. It just has to be some time in the future. Okay, next, the diva.
Okay. My name is Putu Deva Cahyanandita with student ID number 211202138. I'm going to explain some of the examples here. Next slide, please. We have three forms, such as positive, negative, and interrogative here. The positive form is, she will have been there 2 weeks later. The negative form, she won't have been there 2 weeks later. And the interrogative form, will she have been there 2 weeks later? As you can see, the she here stands for the subject, and then will as the sign of future tense, and won't for the negative form of it from will not, and then have been as the sign of perfect tense. Why we added been here, it hasn't been explained before, so it's because the sentences are nominal or non-verbal. In nominal sentences, been is added after have. The next examples will be explained by Dia Raspadewi.
Okay, for another example, in the positive form, we will have finished the exam in a week. In this positive form, the subject is we, and then for the future is will have, and then the past participle is finished. And for the negative form is we won't or will not have finished the exam in a week. In the negative form, all you need to do is change the will into the negative form, which is will not. And for the last form, interrogative form, will we have finished the exam in a week? For the interrogative form, all you need to do is to put the will in front of the sentence. And from the tree of the sentence, we can see that the one of the examples, which is using clear or a clear deadline in this sentence, is in a week. So that is all for our presentation from Group 4 about the future perfect tense. Thank you for your attention, and we are sorry if we have any something that we say or we do wrong. Thank you so much for your attention.
All right, thank you. Second group about the future perfect. So anyone want to tell me what is future perfect for? When are you going to use that? Hi guys. Okay, I need to state this clearly that I asked you to present not only for you to concern on your own part. You know what I mean? So instead of listening to me talking about all this topic, you are all going to be like, yeah, you will join the Zoom meeting and then um, sometimes turning off the camera or maybe turning on the camera with um, anything you need to or you are going to use to cover up yourself. Or maybe you turning off the camera and then I will have no idea what you are doing there. I'm not going to say that I have a negative thinking, but uh, it will not give focus to your mind. Okay, you will know nothing. So according to the research, only 30% of the material delivered orally will be accepted by the audience. Only 30%. Okay, the material delivered in such a way that is very interesting, and then the speaker are really passionate about it, really expressive about it. Only 30%. But when you find it out by yourself, that will increase into 70%. The material or the audience will understand about it. Okay, so I use this method to force you, okay, in a quotation, force you to make you find it out by yourself and try to explain to your friends. So the first point is that you have to understand your part, okay, and then you have to listen to your friends, in which their language, their way of presenting will be really close to yours, and that it will make it easier to understand. It's supposedly like that, but maybe sometimes, I cannot understand what my friend's saying, but it will make you easier, or you will feel really, what is it? You will feel really close to your friends, that you are not hesitate to ask questions, maybe in this classroom or outside the classroom. So when your friends master one topic and you don't understand about certain topic, you can ask them. Okay, so I'm not asking you to understand only your topic. So you need to understand the whole 5 topics of this future tense. Okay, yeah, that's why on the first group just now, I try to elaborate, try to make you understand, try to involve the group into discussion. Okay, and then now I want each of you to involve as well in the presentation of the second group. Okay, so I need all of you to try to think what your friends already explained just now. Future perfect. What is that for? The group already gives us 2 examples, but there are all actually lots of examples you can create once you understand the concept about future perfect. Okay, would anyone care to try to restate it? What is future perfect? When do you use it? Come on.
Can I, Miss?
Sure. Who's this?
It's me, Yuda, Miss.
Yeah.
I think the future perfect tense is used when we are going to talk about action in the future, or the action that are already completed in the future, Miss.
Can you repeat once again?
I think the future perfect tense is used when we are going to talk about action in the future, or the action that completed in the future.
Is that started already?
Pardon me?
Is the action started already?
I think it's not sure. It's not certain.
It's not certain.
Maybe. Miss.
Maybe. All right. Anyone else? Thank you, Yuda, by the way.
Yeah, okay, Miss.
Anyone else? Future perfect. Okay, the tenses in English are divided into three big groups, right? Simple, past, and future. And each of them has progressive as well. Sorry, perfect as well. Yeah. So you need to be able to differentiate between them. Ada past perfect, ada present perfect, and now we have future perfect. Anyone? Berarti yang tadi jelasin sama temen-temennya tadi lewat begitu aja. Lewat aja udah. Yang penting dia presentasi ya udah. Come on. What's this?
Indah. Future perfect is action that we think will or will not have begun in the future.
Will or will not?
Will not have begun in the future.
Have?
Begun.
Begun. Okay.
Oh, begun, yeah.
Yes, in the future. Will or will not? Okay. If will or will not, we can say that will not will be the negative form of it, right? Am I right? Just now, the group already explained to you two sentences with the three forms of it, the positive, the negative, and also the interrogative, right? The groups already explained to you about it, right? So future perfect is actually action that has not been started yet, but you already know when it will be ended or the period of that thing. Say for example, the final exam, right? When will your final exam is? When will your final exam? Do you know? No? It probably around January for a week. Yeah, around January next week. Next year. So it's not started yet, right? You are not having the final exam right now. Okay, it will be started in the future, but you already know when it will be ended. So I will have final exam. I will have finished my final exam by the middle of January, right? So the event is not started yet. It's in the future, but you already know when it will be ended. So I can have fun at the end of January because I will have finished my final exam by 15th of January, say for example, or by the second week of January. So I will be able to have fun at the end of January, or I will have my holiday at the end of the January because I will have finished my final exam by the second week of January, say for example. So it's in the future. You are not there yet, but you know when it will be ended. You're sure because why? Because you already informed the schedule, say for example. Ya, if you check kalender akademik, sebenarnya kalian akan tahu when, gitu ya. Or say for example, I will have arrived back at Bali. Say for example, you are an event organizer, gitu ya, and then you're going to conduct an event in Bali. When March 2021. Then you're contacting one of the celebrity or singer or band or anything, and then you ask whether they are going to be available in Bali by the time you're going to conduct the event. And then they will say to you, "Oh, I will have arrived in Bali by the third week of March, say for example. Jadi, so that is the situation that you might use future perfect tense. Yeah, so say for example, that star is having a tour around Indonesia. They already have schedule. When are they going to arrive in this town, and then when are they going to be in Bali? So they know what to say to you. So that is a kind of situation that you can use future perfect for. Gitu. Yeah, so you have to realize this. Instead of be able to read the definition that you find online, you have to be able to relate it with real situation when you are going to use that kind of sentence. Yeah, because later in the real life, there will be no one telling you what kind of tenses they are using when they talk. Okay? Okay, there will be no one, literally no one. Okay, guys, I'm going to talk in past tense now. Okay? No, they will just talk. Okay? Then you are the one who needs to be able to interpret it to make the conversation goes well. Okay, what is that supposed to mean? What does that mean? What's the context? Why do they have to use that? Not even, okay, that's what you will find in the real life. And also in the test. When you are in the test, the tester will not tell you, okay, this is test for future tense. This is test for past tense. This is a test for present tense. No, you have to figure it out. Okay, from the context. Okay, the last one you have to figure out is from the the formula. That's the last one. Why? Because context is the one that's play important role when you have to determine the tenses, the situation, the meaning of the sentence. Context is one important key that you have to understand. Yeah? Because formula is a fixed one. I'm not saying that remembering formula is not necessary. It is still necessary, but it's not the most important one. Because language is not as fixed as math. Okay? Kalau math, they might have a fixed one. Right? But language, there will be a lot more that you need to know beyond formula. Okay? Formula is not the only thing that can make you are good in grammar. No. Later on, when you take grammar courses, you will understand what I'm talking about. Yeah? It's like what we already learned just now. When we talk about future, we can use other tenses. Ya kan? Jadi tidak mentok ke formula saja. Oh, future, you have to use future tense. No, we can use other tense. Actually, as long as we play the context, we play the time, we put everything correctly. So we can use that. Yeah, so that's what I need you to realize. So don't find for score in my class, but find for understanding. Once you understand everything, you will not get yourself confused and frustrated and feel lonely during this online class. Once you understand, it will get interesting, more interesting in this classroom, in this subject or any other subject. Once you get yourself understand what's the purpose, what is this for, you will have purpose attending the class. If you just find for the score, you have no purpose, actually. Yeah, you just want it to end quickly and then I get a good score. How are you going to get the good score? Whatever I will do to have the good score. That's not what needed nowadays, actually. Okay? All right, thank you for the second group. It's quite a good explanation because you try to explain the example as well. You have a good point there. Great one. Okay, now I'm going to have the first group. Sorry, the first topic I mean. The difference between will and be going to. Which group is that? I guess I missed type it. The difference should be the difference. Whose group is that?
My group, Miss.
Who are you?
Winda.
Okay, Winda. Okay. Do you have any media to present? To help you present?
Yes, we have, Miss.
Okay.
Okay, we are the first group. The first member is Dian, and then me, yeah, and then Kusuma Yuda, Pinky, and Madhumita. So today we will talk about the differences of will and be going to. Next slide, please.
Sorry, can you go back to the first slide, please? I need to see the name.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. 1 second. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, next we will talk about the definition or the basic explanation about will and be going to. Will and be going to are an auxiliary verb that we use in the future tense, but often refer to future action. So they also called as a future action expression. Although in some cases they can be interchangeable because there are multiple ways of expressing the same thing in English. However, knowing which one you think is that really just depends on what you are trying to say. Okay, when we talk about will and be going to, we will talk about future tenses. It's about a simple future tense. And there are two situations when we use will and be going to. In future situation, there are two ways, two situations. There are plain and unplain. When we have plain action, we use going to.
Sorry, plan.
Oh, plan. Oh,
yes. Because plane, you're going to go up to the sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss. Okay. When plan is to the situation that you are talking about, something that you have planned in advance. For example, if I need to see a doctor, I usually cannot just walk in. I need to make appointment and something like that. So this is something that planned. So we use going to. How about in unplanned? In unplanned situation, we use will. Unplanned just mean that you didn't plan it before, so you just sort of decide at the moment to do something. For example, I will give you example. I'm going to get some coffee. In formal situation, and will informal situation. For example, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin the conference at 9 a.m. And informal situation, okay, I will get some coffee too, for example. Okay, next, we will talk about the function of will and be going to. Next slide, okay. Dian?
Okay, my name is Maridian Juliani, and now I will tell you about the function of will. Will is used when we want to talk about rapid decision. Rapid decision is a decision that are taken quickly and spontaneously. Will also used for offering something, a voluntary act of offering to do something for someone. Will also used for a promise, for make a promise. Will also used for treat. Will can also be used to throw a treat. And will use. Yes, Miss?
A threat.
A threat. I'm sorry, Miss. A threat. We can also use.
How do you spell treat?
Yes, Miss.
Kalau treat dengan threat itu beda ya. The meaning are different, right? And this one that you write here is a threat.
Yes, yes.
If it's a tree, then you will have no H.
B.
Okay? Yeah.
And the last will is used for refusal, to express a refusal. I'm sorry. And the next material will explain by Nita.
Hang on. From those function will, which one that is related to the future?
Promise and repetitions. This.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Repetition and also make a promise.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Miss, thank you.
Material is the function of be going to. There are two functions. The first one is prior plan. Is going to is used to express plans in the future, whether the plans are realistic or not. The second function is evidence or signs, used when there are signs that something is about to happen. Okay, the next material will be explained by my friend.
Tadi siapa yang explain tadi, Mita? The function of be going to. Siapa tadi yang explain? Halo. Siapa tadi yang explain the function of be going to?
Yes.
Mita, yeah, okay. Can you go back to the function of be going to? Whose screen is this? Mita. Function of be going to. Yeah, okay. From these two functions, which one related to the future? Okay, from these two functions that you just mentioned, which one related to the future tense?
Prior plans is going to is used to express plans in the future, whether the plans are realistic or not.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay, me.
Okay, I will continue our presentation. Example of will. First, for rapid or impulsive decision, I think we will go right now. And then prediction, I think it will rain later, so take an umbrella with you. Next, to make an offer, a promise, or a threat. To make an offer, I will drive you to work if you want. To make a promise, I promise I will always be there beside you. And to make a threat, I will hit you if you can't stop talking. And then refusal, I will never eat that food, although it was the less remaining food. And the next material will explain by Yuda.
Thank you, Pinky. So I'm going to tell you about the example be going to. The first is don't come to my house. I'm going to hang out with my sister. Number 2, back off. The train is going to pass. Number 3, I'm going to watch movie at 6 p.m. in cinema. Number 4, we are going to buy some drinks in the market. So for the example number 1 and number 3 and number 4 is the context is when we are make decision and we already know what we are going to do in the future. Number 2 is when there are sign or evidence that is certain to happen. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for this group. Explaining the difference between will and be going to. Okay. I need to tell you all that the difference are actually slightly different. By the meaning, they are both means the same. Okay, will and be going to. And there are lots of people making mistakes. There are rules about these two, right? If I say have to use will and also have to use be going to, that is book-based, okay, written-based. When we talk about spoken language, there will be no boundaries. There will be no people saying that, oh, you should not saying you will. You should say you are going to. There will be no people or no, not even natives who will interrupt you and telling you that you have used the wrong form of saying will and be going to. But there are rules. Yes, there are rules. As long as find out, and this is from a book, yeah, I'm not saying that your sources online are wrong, mostly wrong, no. But when you are on this level, it will be better for you to check or to double check about whatever you find online. Okay, the sources online are written by people who are probably haven't reviewed yet. Okay, so I really recommend you to double check whatever you find online. Okay. Okay. The first one is that will and be going to are both can be used when you are mentioning or talking about prediction. It will rain. It is going to be rain. It's going to be rain very hard. It will rain in about 5 minutes, say for example. So that is prediction. There will be a lot of other examples about prediction. And then be going to is actually used for prior plan. Okay, so say for example, like the plan that you already set, a big plan. I'm going to buy a house next year. I already saved my money for that, so I'm going to buy a house next year. My savings will be enough for the down payment next year, so I will be able to buy that next year. I'm going to buy a house. And you heard just now, I just used the word will as well. Is that wrong? Does that sound odd? No. Right? No, not at all. I'll buy a house next year. But for some people, for a big plan, like buying a house, getting married, people say they are all prior plan. But it's actually, if we talk about the prior plan, it will be different for each people. Oh, buy house is not a big deal for Raffi Ahmad maybe. But for us, people like me, buying a house, buying a car is such a big deal. Getting married maybe not that big deal for people who tend to be alone or who are sick of a relationship, right? Yeah. If we talk about prior plan, it will be another different level. But nowadays, now we're going to talk about the prior plan that is common for common people. So those kind of things, buying house, or for Balinese having a big ceremony like, let's say, filing or modalik ceremony. So it's quite big, right? So it needs like steps before we can conduct that thing, and needs preparation for that. So that's what we are going to categorize as private class. But if you say, I will have a filing ceremony in a month from now, is that wrong? No, right? There's nothing really wrong in communication for that. But based on grammar book, that is slightly inappropriate or kalau bahasa Indonesianya itu kurang tepat, bukan salah tapi kurang tepat. Okay, and then when are we going to use willingness when you express about willingness? Oh, I'll help you. Oh my God, I cannot go home. I am riding a motorbike. That's what your friend said, and you drive a car. Oh, I'll get you home, or I'll drive you home. just like your willingness to help that person. They cannot get home because it's rain, cats and dogs, and she or he ride motorbike, and they have nothing to cover their bodies up, and you yourself drive a car, and it's nothing to lose for you to take him or her home. So you offer yourself to help. I'll drive you home. Or oh my God, I forget my. Oh my God, I'm hungry, but I cannot go to the canteen because I have to do this. Oh, I'll get you some food. Okay, that's what the book says. That will expressing your willingness to help, to what? To even get away from something. Oh, I'll go to bed. I'll go to bed right now. Like I'm so tired. I'll go to bed. That's so it's willingness. So that is what the book says, right? So usually, whatever the rules in the grammar will be really easily observed and also evaluated when it is on the written form, right? So you have to know this in order to be able to use this in written form. In spoken language, usually it just let people just let them slide, and it's totally okay to make grammar mistakes during the spoken performance or dialogue or just like what is it, daily conversation. So people will not interrupt you unless it affects the meaning of the sentence. So people get confused, they cannot understand what you're saying, maybe they will interrupt you. But as long as it's not really affect the meaning in spoken, okay, that will be okay. But things about grammar, you need to be really careful when you do writing, because it can be assessed anytime. People can find that. Yeah, so that's my point, that both will and be going to can be used for prediction, and then be going to use for prior plan, and then willingness, you will need to use will in that case. So that's the only three that you need to memorize, put in mind, keep in your mind, not to get confused. This is related to future, okay? So, will itu, dia kan model this, right? But this is what I'm talking about is related to future, actually. Okay? Do I make myself clear? Do I make myself clear, guys?
Yes, Miss.
All right.
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Now, there are two topics left. Can I have, like, future progressive? Future progressive, please. Whose group is that?
My group, Miss.
Okay,
Okay.
Miss.
Yeah.
Okay, hello, Miss Astiti and our friends at IKI class. Introduce us from group 5, and this is our group member. But before that, please, Denny, for share screen.
I'm sorry, Natia. I think it's another group.
Going on. Future progressive, isn't it yours?
I'm sorry, Miss. Our group, Future Perfect Progressive.
Oh, okay. Okay then. I just have your group. It's okay.
Okay, Miss. Wait.
Okay, Denny, can you ke slide pertama?
Whose group is this?
Okay. Hello, Miss Asiti and our friends. Today, we will explain about future perfect progressive. Okay, introduce us from group 5, and this is our group member. Number 1 is Niputu Siana Divalarasati with student number 21120211144. Number 2 is Safa Aninda Putri Wahyudi with student number 21120211145. Number 3 is Lu Nitya Swarilaba with student number 21120211149. Number 4 is Marideni Dinata with student number 21120211150. And me, Madinatia Pratanyaswari, 21120211151. The first material is the concept. Will be explained by Safa.
Okay, hello all. Now I will explain about concept. The future perfect progressive tense is used for an ongoing action that will be complete at some specific time in the future. This tense is used time reference. If there is no time reference, without using continuous time reference, the sentence will be a future continuous tense. Okay, the next slide will be explained by Sienna. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Safa. So now I will explain about when to use future perfect progressive. So the future perfect progressive tense is typically used with two time expressions. The first one is specifying a time in the future, and the second one is stating the length of the activity. So that's all from me. The next material will explain by Nitya. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, what's going on? Whose turn is this?
Nitya, you still mute. Nitya, you still mute.
Nitya, you need to unmute your microphone. Denny, can you tell Nitya, please?
Sorry, Miss. Denny nge-lag. Wait, Miss.
I need you, actually.
Kelihatan screen. Udah. Okay, before we continue to the example, future perfect continuous digunakan saat kita ingin membahas tentang sesuatu waktu yang selesai di masa depan atau sesuatu yang dikerjakan atau yang dilakukan. Nah, verb yang digunakan adalah verb one plus is.
Nitya, did you hear me, Nitya?
Okay, Miss.
Please use English.
Okay. The first example is positive sentence. The pattern is
your explanation, the previous explanation. Please repeat it again using English. Nitya, can you hear my voice?
Clear, Miss. But in English, Sienna explained that, Miss.
Sorry, what?
Sienna explained in English.
I'm sorry, Miss.
Why do you need to translate it to Indonesia again?
For interaction only, Miss.
For what? For what?
For interaction only, Miss. Menjelaskan kembali.
You don't have to do that. Just do. You don't have to translate. It's not explaining again. If you want to re-explain, you use English with another explanation, not translated to Indonesia. Okay?
Okay, Miss.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I will continue to the example. The positive sentence, the pattern is subject plus will plus have plus been and first verb one ing. The explain is example
what do you mean
is
verb one ing?
In verb one.
What do you mean in verb one?
Verb ing, Miss.
I told you, please don't use verb 1, 2, 3, verb ing. I already introduced you the real name of those verbs.
Okay, Miss. The first example is Shafa will have been living in Bali for 10 years at that point. And the second example
is
of the verb?
What is the name of the verb?
Pardon, Miss, what?
What is the name of the verb?
Verb one, Miss.
Are you sure? This is future tense. Would you like to check? Where did you get this? How can verb one appear in a future tense?
Verb ing, Miss.
What is verb ing? I don't accept verb 1, 2, 3, verb ing, please. I already introduced the names. You said you understand when I explained. You nod your head. I clearly remember that.
Present participle, Miss.
What is the name for? What is present participle? What is the example?
The verb is present participle, like walking, speaking.
Okay. Finally, you know that.
Living.
Now start sharing again. Start sharing the
Miss.
screen.
Wait, Miss. Denny, laptopnya sedikit error, Miss. Sienna will start. And the second example, Danny will have studying. The past participle is studying, Miss. Okay, the next example will be explained with Natia.
What do you mean? The next is studying. Would you like to explain these two examples? What does that mean?
In Indonesia, Miss?
No. In English.
Sorry, Miss. I don't understand what you mean.
Where were you this whole time? Okay, so you have the example, you have a formula, and your friends already explaining just now what is future perfect progressive for, the concept and the context. Now you come up with the example. You have to link it back to the concept and the context. Why you put green on the screen as well? Would you like to tell us what does that means?
Why I put green on screen? Because sesuai pattern.
That is my last question. Would you please start from the first one? Link it back to the context. The first sentence, Shafa will have been living in Bali for 10 years at that point. What does that mean? What's the context? What's the concept? Why it said future perfect continuous or future perfect progressive? Hello, are we going to waste the time like this? Can we move to the next presenter and then go back to Nitya later? Natia, are you in this group?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, who is the next presenter after Nitya? I'll go back to Nitya after the presentation.
Okay, I'm the next presenter. Okay, the next is an example of a negative sentence. Denny, can you slide? Okay. Okay, the negative sentence, the pattern is subject plus will plus not plus have plus been plus verb ing. Okay, the green is the sign of the negative sentence. Here are two examples from us. Number one is Nitya will not have been sleeping for 3 hours by midnight. And number two is Shafa will not have been studying at this university for 5 years. Okay, that's all about
the second sentence still a little bit ambiguous. The first one, yes, the first one is understandable. Why I will say so? Because Nitya will not have been sleeping for 3 hours by midnight. So it means that by midnight, which is 12 o'clock at night, she will not sleep for 3 hours. So probably she will start sleeping like more than 9 o'clock at night. So that's the meaning of this sentence, right? Will not have been sleeping for 3 hours. Probably she will start sleeping like 9, 10, 9:30, 10, or 10:30, 11. So it will not be 3 hours by midnight. Right? So this sentence is understandable. But the second sentence, Shafa will not have been studying at this university for 5 years. When? Would you like to link? Yes. Would you like to link to the previous explanation that your friends already presenting? What is future perfect progressive is all about?
Okay, maybe the ambiguity is the university, Miss, yeah?
No. That's not what I mean. So, okay. It's not ambiguous, but it's not clear, if I may say. Ambiguous, not clear, yeah, they're quite the same. But the first one, the first one has time to validate the statement that will not have been sleeping for 3 hours by midnight. So there will be a like a frame, okay, sleeping for 3 hours by midnight. So people will understand, oh, that person will not start sleeping by 9. No, so she probably sleeps after 9, after 9 o'clock at night. That's why you said she will not have been sleeping for 3 hours by midnight. Jadi, the bahasa is that Nitya tidak akan
Tidur.
Nitya belum akan tidur selama 3 jam ketika tengah malam.
Betul.
Belum akan tidur selama 3 jam.
3 jam.
Yes, sleeping for 3 hours. So, I believe your friends already mentioning just now that you have the word progressive in this tense, right? Progressive means progress, process. So the length of it is the point or the main, what is it? The one that is emphasizes the length of the duration of the event. Okay? So 3 jam, belum akan tidur selama 3 jam ketika tengah malam. Jadi belum 3 jam dia tidur ketika tengah malam. Nah, you can understand the first sentence that way. But the second one, Shafa will not have been studying at this university for 5 years. When? Next year maybe. Jadi there will be a date or a limit. Tidak ada batasan. Translatannya kan Shafa tidak belum akan belajar di universitas ini selama 5 tahun. Kapan? So the length, the duration is 5 years. When? So we know when it's actually started when. Okay?
Oke, Miss. Berarti diganti, Miss, ya?
Diganti, edit. You need to complete this. Okay, I have one example. So I will have been sleeping for 2 hours by the time he gets home. Or I will have been teaching in this university for 7 years next August. Okay, or that's actually including the past. Hang on. Something, because this is future, so the duration is actually started in the future and also ended in the future, but the duration that is being talked here, the duration, if you really can see the diagram, is actually in the future, so it's not yet happening. So my sentences now was a little bit wrong. Say, for example,
maybe this the complete, Miss. Shafa will not have been studying for 5 hours by the noon.
By the noon, yes, quite likely. Shafa will not have been studying for 5 hours
by
noon. Yes, by noon.
Yes.
Not the noon. By noon. Yes.
By noon. Okay.
It could work. Okay. So that's what I want you to highlight.
Yes.
Why you put the green one there? The green highlight there. It actually has meanings. Will not have been studying is actually adjust or suitable with the formula. Okay, but the one that needs to be highlighted is actually the duration. The first sentence is okay. The second one, you need to revise it. Nitya will not have been sleeping for 3 hours. So for 3 hours. Yeah, selama 3 jam. So we have to know when it started and when it ends, or when it ends. Because we have to know 3 parts. When we know 2 parts, that is okay. We can know the other parts. Okay, we know the duration and we know when it's ended, right? The second sentence is actually not finished yet. Yeah, that
Okay,
is
Miss.
what you need to revise actually. All right, thank you, Nadia.
Miss.
The next one, Nitya, can I go back to you?
Yes, Miss. Okay. I will identify why that sentence masuk ke future perfect progressive. Structural wise, because it has at the word will, which indicate future situation, have been, which indicate a perfect tense, and an informed verb, which indicate a continuous tense. Function which, because it's explained about a particular event that it's still on progress until a certain point in the future, Miss. And 10 years tell us the length of the activity, specifies a time in the future, Miss.
Can you please assure me that you are not reading?
Apa, Miss? Pardon, Miss?
Can you please assure me that you're not reading?
Yes, Miss.
Would you like to explain again with your own words? I'm giving you a chance.
Is that clear, Miss?
What is clear?
Okay. The 10 years tell us the length of activity, and the second sentence at the point tell us the specifies a time in the future, Miss.
I cannot see you.
What?
Your camera is off just now. Okay, you may start now.
Udah mau nyala, Miss?
Yes.
Okay. Why the first sentence is 10 years? In Bali for 10 years, tell us the length of the activity, and the second sentence is at that points tell us the specifies at the time in the future, Miss. So the structural wise, because it has the words will, which indicates the future situation, and have been, which is indicates a perfect tense, and informed verb, which indicates a continuous tense, Miss.
All right, I believe everybody already listened my explanation just now with Natia. Hopefully Nitya also listened to it. Okay, so it actually has meaning. The green one and also the duration, like what I mentioned just now, for 10 years. And then the second sentence is still not complete. You need to find out something to complete it. I already explained just now with Natia. All right, guys, so it's already 4:19 or almost 4:20. So I will need the last group, which is Future Perfect, to submit their video or presentation. The link, yeah? The link, please record and also send the link in the Telegram. You can record using this Zoom meeting actually. Will be later when your friends already left the meeting. So only 5 of you, and then use this to record, and then send me the link so I can watch the video and also the PowerPoint presentation. That is it then, because I cannot have you right now. It's already more than it should be. Okay. Thank you very much for being here today. I really appreciate your work today. And I'll see you next week. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Miss. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.